It's like a combination of two things. The first is that what you are doing has to be interesting. So the story that you are creating online through your content has to be interesting. Morning guys, 6:30, had a really good sleep and now just getting ready to face the day. So I'm just doing some social content creation. This is definitely an area that I will 100% outsource when I hire my first team member, because it'll just save me so much time. But I've just been thinking about a sort of, I guess it's drawing from what I've been chatting about with my clients recently. But I know a lot of people feel like they are stuck in, I don't know, a follower count that isn't growing at the moment, and I think a lot of people can lose drive and motivation to keep on creating content when they are just purely focusing on whether that follower count is growing or not. And so I think that it's like a combination of two things. The first is that what you are doing has to be interesting. So the story that you are creating online through your content has to be interesting, but you also need to be willing to optimize as well. So it's like when I go back at the end of the week and edit this vlog, I'm not just gonna go into it like, okay, here are all the clips, let's just put it all together. That's not how you make a story interesting, and that's not how you optimize. You create the content to make it interesting, but then at the end of the week when I edit this vlog, I will go back and pick out the most valuable and interesting, inspiring and entertaining moments that I think will be most beneficial for my audience. And that's how you do it. And it's the same, like, people say that they don't have time to engage on social media, but you find pockets of time. So it's things like, if you are at your desk and you're just like, oh god, my head, 5 minutes, do it. On your way to work, if you get a bus or a train, do it then. You know, if you get 10 minutes when you get home from work before you start doing stuff, you do it then. If you're in a queue, there are always pockets of time where you can intentionally engage on social media. And so this is a big thing that I'm focusing on this year, is that actions speak louder than words. And I think a lot of people out there preach a lot of things. They talk the talk, but they don't walk it. And I am a firm preacher that I talk the talk, but you can bet that I have walked it as well. And so it's about being appreciative. And you know, people always say to me, how do you stay so motivated? How do you get up in the morning? How do you not deviate from your calendar? It's because I'm grateful. I am grateful for me it's all about impact. It's not about a follower count. And I don't take my followers or community for granted whatsoever. And speaking of not taking people for granted, I have a coaching call in 40 minutes with my male client, which is exciting. So men, we can work together as well. And I think in this call, and my notebook's upstairs, but I think we're gonna go over, I think time management is gonna be quite a big focus. And I could talk all day about productivity, so it's going to be a really good call, I think. Tuesdays are always great as well, because you'll remember this from previous vlogs, but I go to my nana's. It's very, very weird to go, not to go, but to be there, like, since my granddad died. in October, just to see his empty chair and him to not be there is really weird, and it does, every time I go in it does get you, you know, but it's good to spend some time with my nana, and she feeds me really nice food, so that's always a bonus. Hello, how are you? Yeah, exactly. And I think it's one of those things that there's still this, I don't know if you find this as well, but I feel like there's still a lot of people out there who like don't take this like brand building side of things seriously. But I think it's like you said, you know, you go to your office and work, and if these things are in your calendar, like, you know how to sort of take them seriously. Because especially as you are building your brand alongside a full-time job, like we've talked about, like prioritization is key. So I think in the past you've probably been like, oh, you know, I think I should write a blog post, or maybe I'll sit on Twitter for a bit. But I think the key thing with this is that you really have to get clear on, okay, what is gonna move the needle to help give you like the most momentum. So pumped after that call, seriously. I just love talking about time management. I just love it. He was completely revolutionized. He's bought time cubes. He's gonna absolutely smash it. I am so excited for him. And he also said, because what I usually do is give my coaching clients a few exercises to do, and obviously he'd done the exercises, so I just sort of said, oh, you know, how did you find the exercises? And he was like, they were so valuable. He said those 3 exercises were worth what I've paid you for coaching without everything else. And I was like, oh my god. So yeah, I am on a big high now. I know I always go on about saying like I love creating content and I love engaging with people, but the thing that I love doing the most is these one-on-one calls with my clients, because they are such amazing people. They're so ready to do the work, and it just, yeah, cliche, but I love what I do. So yes, I'm just waiting for Tom's mum and dad to come round. They are gonna watch Lola, and I'm gonna go to my nana's for a few hours to do some work, and then I'll be back to check in. What do you think? Are you happy? Yeah. Yes, you are. Good girl. This is the beauty of time blocking, because something that I thought, well, something that I dedicated an hour to actually only took me half an hour. So that means that I now have gained half an hour in time. Well, actually no, something else as well, so an hour in time to do something else, which is great. So I'm gonna crack on for a bit longer now. I have got to do some, that's the shower. It always does this when I've had a shower. I've just exercised, you see. So I am going to finish editing a video for next week and create some snippets from that to share online, and from another one as well. And then I'll see where I get to.